Welcome back to Game Room Theater. I'm the guy that is kind of typecast lately, reviewing a whole bunch of projectors and a whole bunch of different price points, from 10K to, you know, something like this. I'm really curious about this. Guys, review is going to be about Wanbo, the VALI 1. This just launched, and this is priced at $219 for an introductory price. MSRP is $279. It's got Netflix built in, Android 11, a bunch of other smart features. Doesn't look like they skipped out on a lot of stuff, but what really impresses me is that there's a claim that it is 900 ANSI lumens of brightness. I've never seen anything of that brightness in this kind of price point. So really curious, guys, how that performs in my theater. Stay tuned and watch the rest of the review so that you guys can determine if this is something you'd want in your home. Quick unboxing, guys. What do you get? You get a remote. Curious to see how this performs. It's got a whole bunch of different buttons, kind of lightweight. And you get their power cord. Surprisingly, there's no adapter, so that's got to mean that the adapter is built into that. That's got to be pretty convenient. And I get this little filter. Look at this. Interesting. Let's look at the device itself. Here's the back. You've got inputs for earphones. You got HDMI input and USB. What I found interesting is, again, you didn't see an adapter or a brick. It just plugs in directly here into the gimbal. And I found the gimbal, this is really useful because this has got some smart features, which I'll demonstrate in a second here when I go back into the theater. But you know, you want to be able to angle onto the ceiling. If you're laying in bed, if it's sitting next to you in bed, you know, this way or that way. And it has those smart features where, you know, if you get a trapezoid-like image, it'll automatically correct for that, including focus. This is what's really surprising, guys. At this kind of price point, this thing feels absolutely premium. And you've got those lenses and things that that allow those kinds of features. But yeah, so let's not waste any more time and let's go in there. And almost forgot to check. You can mount this. You see, it allows for you to install this on top of like a tripod or ceiling mounted, etc., which is a good touch. The moment of truth. So let's go into the theater room and see if this thing takes your breath away. There it is. And now let me pan. Wow. You guys believe this is coming from something that's priced at $279, right now at $219. I still can't believe it. Look at it. Let me pan back. If you think there's some kind of gimmickry or something going on, let's see how this performs. I'll do this live. Let's turn the lights back on and let's see what's going on. See, plenty bright with a little bit of lighting, not really much of a problem. So again, this is what it looks like. I did use a little bit of digital zoom, guys. So this is a native 1080p projector, but with a little bit of digital zoom, I usually want it in a perfect spot, right? Like you know, it should have been somewhere here. So I've placed it there just for now. But you know, again, I'll get close. Obviously, it's not 4K, but you know, if you get really close, then you'll start seeing pixel structure. But sitting about 9 feet away from a 1080p projector with a slight amount of digital zoom, I don't see any pixels. I see a fantastic image for this price point. Let me just play some videos so that you guys get kind of a feel for what I'm looking at. So contrast ratio, I find it, again, I have to temper my comments because we're at a particular price point, right? Like, you know, you get what you pay for, but I feel that what I'm looking at, I'm definitely getting a lot more than what I expected out of this price point. So I'm sitting, once again, about 8.5 to 9 feet from a 110-inch acoustically transparent screen, and the projector's directly behind me, and this is what you see. So the VALI one features that 200-degree adjustable gimbal that I mentioned. I've adjusted using that. Once again, 900 ANSI lumens, and as you can see, bright and vivid visuals. And again, I'm distracted as I see the visuals. Just the brightness and the clarity is really amazing. and plenty sharp, as you can see from where I'm filming this. It is powered by Android TV 11, and it gives you access to Netflix, YouTube, and over 7,000 apps. So I'm going to show you all of that in a second here. Plus, I'm going to demo the 12-watt hi-fi stereo speakers, and apparently this whole thing is at 28 decibels sound. So I'm sitting and I can hear it, but it's not really taking over or noticeable. So I'll bust out my decibel meter and check it out against that as well. And again, I'm going to demonstrate some of the smart features, this smart ASA3.0 technology with this autofocus, keystone correction, and screen fit and all of that. I'm playing my usual videos that I demo with, so just so that I have a perspective with the different price ranges and the various projectors that are reviewed in this room. So it's the same material playing, so I know what to look for. Again, I mean, for something that's sub $500, this is blowing my mind value. So, you know, contrast, the claim is 3,000 to 1. I don't have the specific tools to measure that claim, but, you know, hopefully I've calibrated my phone camera so that you guys can see what my eye is seeing. I did it as close to that as I could and turned off any kind of filters or any of that. And this is what you get. So setting up this thing, guys, I literally set it up about 5 minutes ago with Android TV 11. And things are super easy. If you've got an Android phone, you've got Google built in. It just took, like I said, just a couple of minutes to do it, and this thing was ready to go. At this price point, I'm not gonna be bothering with plugging in a Fire Stick or anything else, because this has everything. Like I said, original Android TV with licensed Netflix preloaded on it. Playing more of the usual suspect clips that I play in every video review that I do. This is one of my favorites. I've got it bookmarked in my YouTube channel, and I constantly play it. But again, 1080p and great. Look at the pop of the colors. It's vibrant. And again, let me just turn on the lights and see how this holds up again. So I just turned the lights on. As you can see, you know, rather low ambient lighting, absolutely fine. I mean, if you've got a super bright sunny day in your family room, this is all going to be completely washed out looking. It's not, you know, it's not 3,000 lumens or 4,000 lumens to bite through the sunlight. So, you know, you want a fairly light controlled environment for something like this to enjoy the appropriate picture quality. A quick audio test of the 12-watt speakers that have a small amplifier built in. So I'll be quiet in just a second here, but hopefully I can speak through the music as well. And this is my usual clip, so let me hit play. And let me turn this up max. And here's my decibel meter. That is pretty loud. Maybe you guys can hear me through it. Hit as high as, you know, about 80 decibels. So I'm sitting about 5 feet from it, as you guys can see. That's pretty cool. Loud enough. It's a lifestyle projector, but look at the quality of this. So you're gonna watch some sports in the backyard with, you know, at sunset or shortly thereafter. It's gonna work out just fine. And noise-wise, again, I'm standing about 4 feet from it, and I'll be quiet in a second. Let's see what the decibel reading is. So I was quiet for a second because it was picking up my voice. So under 30 decibels. So this is, you know, it's got a decent sized fan underneath, and that is what allows it to stay rather quiet. If it's a smaller fan, it's, you know, a higher decibel reading. But again, let me get close. Really stunning. I love it. As for movies, let me just play this in the background, and you guys can kind of judge for yourself what you're looking at and how this looks to you. Again, I've got one eye on the screen that I'm recording with and one eye on the screen, just to make sure that, you know, it's pretty much what I'm seeing. And guys, it's a 200 like less than $300 projector. I'm not sitting here tweaking the heck out of the picture to squeeze every possible detail, every possible hit in contrast or increase in contrast ratio. I'm not measuring for color accuracy. I'm eyeballing this, right? Like at this price point, you're not sitting there doing that level of tweaking. And as for gaming, absolutely fine playing simulation and role-playing games. Size, it just gives you scale as if you're in the game. But in terms of lag and what kind of input lag you're looking at, I mean, it does have game mode, which I'll show you guys in the menus in a second. So it reduces any of the processing so that that lag is reduced. It's definitely not zero. It is noticeable enough where, again, you don't want to play first-person shooter games. For this Android TV 11, very, very smooth, guys, navigating this. And then this is, again, the big thing. Netflix is built in. Opening apps is no problem at all. Absolutely minimal lag. Because it's got Android TV 11, which you use with your Google account, and you have access to over 7,000 apps that are in this Play Store. Go through the Android TV different menus and things, but let me go through the projector settings. So under projector settings, you get the typical things, which I'm really surprised that at this price point they include they include all of these extra features, right? Like so autofocus is there, and it does a really good job. It's not the fastest in the world, but as you can see, it's adjusting itself, and it then provides a very sharp image. Auto keystone is exactly that. If you've got a trapezoid-like image, it'll look for the borders and correct for it. You can do it manually as well. This is where you can adjust the corners. I always prefer, I'm pretty stringent about this. I always try to do that myself. Auto screen alignments, similar type of idea. The smart obstacle avoidance, if somebody walks in front of this bright light, damage their eyes, it'll shut itself off. And then display scale, as I was saying, I used a certain percentage of this, not ideal. I always wanted to be 100%, but it doesn't have any optical zoom, right? At this price point, you're not gonna get optical zoom. So you have to either place it in the perfect spot from the screen that you've got, if you've got a border like this, or use a little bit of this digital display scaling, which I've had to do, where I've placed it. Continuing on to the next setting under picture. So there's not a whole lot of adjustments. Perhaps I would have preferred some additional tweaks beyond what you get here. Just cool, warm, standard, and then under user, you're able to make some color adjustments, but I've just kind of left it at standard for now. I mean, if I test this outside, it may be a different story. So under picture mode, this is where you get, this PC mode is that game mode, really. This will take all the additional processing and things out. And under vivid, the picture goes very, very bright. And this is where I suspect, at the expense of blowing out the colors and accuracy, you do get a little bit of a brighter image. So if you've got some lighting to deal with, then you want to change that. But for the large part, you want to leave it at standard. But you can tweak this a bit further to your liking under user, right? Like brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness. I mean, again, at this price point, I don't create a lot of fuss with how I want things set up, and I typically leave that under standard. And audio mode, as I was demonstrating earlier, I mean, I tried out a few different settings. Standard was absolutely fine. No distortions. If you're watching a movie, you can change it to movie. There's a slight bump in bass. In sports, you get you get better voices that are carrying, just like news, and music is just that. I tested it, but minimal differences. I prefer to leave things in standard. And under the input menu, you know, this is really where you've got additional settings that you want to change. Like, you know, I apologize. Earlier I mentioned, you know, there was a PC mode, and sure, it turns off all of the gimmicks and extra settings, that processing that takes place. Game mode is really what you want to turn on for low latency. Continuing on under inputs, I mean, you get a bunch of other controls as well. You know, ARC is basically HDMI audio that can get carried to an external device. CEC devices is really for HDMI control and automation. So this is surprising at this price point. An input source, again, ATVs, your Android TV, you want it on HDMI, or you've got USB as well. And this is an important menu basically under advanced setting. You get autofocus boot. So it'll, you know, anytime you turn it on, if you're constantly moving this thing, it'll focus itself. I mean, I've got it in the theater in one spot that's not moving, so I've left it off. Autofocus as soon as you move it. Auto keystone, as soon as it starts up, it'll align itself, you know, that trapezoid. So then, you know, if you move it physically or you point it up on your ceiling and you're still at an odd angle, not directly up, then, you know, if you move it, there's that setting too. And then if they've got some system updates, the system updates won't be over Wi-Fi. They'll be via USB stick, which isn't really a problem, and then also a factory reset. The remote is pretty functional, and at this price point, I'm happy with it. Yeah, you can obviously turn power on and off. This is the Google Assistant, so you know you can use your voice to navigate, you know, do lots of different things with that. You know, volume is here. Dedicated Android TV settings are here. Yeah, if I press that, you guys will see, you know, it opens up the standard ones there. And then, you know, this is a dedicated settings button for the projector menus that I was just showing you guys. So I've got to point at it, and then that's how that comes up. So decent enough, works from a distance. Doesn't, you know, it's not gonna work if I'm necessarily pointing it away, but you know, I'm not really pointing it at the projector, and it's picking it up just fine. I do want to point out, you know, because it's Google TV, you've got Chromecast built in. So when you're traveling with this thing, which a lot of people would, especially at this price point, you know, they're not gonna risk like a multi-$1,000 projector out you know, using it outside in the backyard, unless you've got the kind of money. But with Chromecast, like say you're not on home Wi-Fi, you're somewhere else, you can just cast from your phone, whatever, you know, your Netflix app or Prime or whatever else that you may have on your phone. What's my final verdict on the Wanbo VALI 1? Guys, under 300 bucks, this is the best projector that I've tested, packed full of features that I'm surprised, frankly, at this price point. So completely worth it, guys. I'll be doing some more comparative analysis of this in future videos, but check the link in my bio if you're interested in purchasing this. And again, for a limited time, introductory price is $219, MSRP is $279, and highly recommended. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review and want to see more in my ever-changing man cave / game room, there's a lot of things that are going to be going on in the next several months. Some huge changes are going to be taking place. So please do hit the subscribe button if you're curious about what's going to be taking place here. I'm going to be having some celebrities that drop by as well, some celebrity man caves that are being built. Anyway, guys, hit that subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.